what is a libertarian feminist?
I mean, I think most libertarians are feminists, right? I mean, feminism, if we take it at the sort of, fundamental belief, it's, inequality before the law, inequality of all people based on a sort of natural rights-based thing. Throughout history, a lot of the feminist movements, especially early feminist movements, but also back and forth throughout the sort of, whole history, modern history of the movement, individualist feminists or classical liberal or libertarian feminists, whatever you want to call them, have played a huge role in this. In the past 20 or so years, they have not. They've very much fallen out of fashion. And so I think a lot of libertarians are ready to just say, okay, well, I'm a libertarian. I don't need to also say I'm a feminist. And, to me, that makes sense. But also we end up sort of ceding this whole territory. A lot of times people even say they're anti-feminist because libertarians will, because they're talking about this sort of modern left feminism that they're, seen in the mainstream media and things. But then we end up sort of getting this reputation as being misogynist. We end up getting this reputation of not caring about or speaking to any of these issues when we do, and we have a lot to say about them. So It's really just a more of way of sort of focusing, saying, that part of my libertarian project, I guess, is to focus on feminist issues, women's issues, gender issues, things like that.
Yeah, I always describe myself as a radical feminist, but then I go on to explain what I mean by that.
Yeah.
Like, I actually think that women are just as capable as men to mix it up and play rough and do whatever the heck they want to do with their lives.
Right.
But that's not modern feminism at all, I don't think.
Well, and you have both, people who call themselves feminists on the left, and then you have, people on the right, and they often are sort of pushing for the same things, which are both in different ways, sort of special treatment of groups, including men or women or various gender things, before the law of mothers, before the law or whatever. And so, what me and Kat and other libertarian feminists I do is just sort of push very libertarian policies, push, less government intervention, less statism when it comes to, more voluntary solutions, but make sure that we're doing that so that people know, like, we are wanting to, we have the same, we want the same outcomes as you. We want we want women to have opportunities. We want people of all, not to be limited by their gender roles. This is, people always say, like, isn't feminism collectivist? But, there's nothing sort of more collectivist than saying someone has to be a representative of their sex or gender,
Right.
So.
Right, yeah. And the reason I ask is your portfolio in particular at Reason seems to be what I would have used to call progressive, in the sense that it was very focused on civil liberties and going after anybody that would try to prosecute or persecute victimless crime, that kind of thing. And there used to be, I thought, a consensus, at least amongst even small government conservatives, certainly libertarians and ACLU progressives, that we all agreed on this stuff. We all agreed on free speech. We all agreed that the drug war was stupid, and we all agreed that we should probably be putting fewer people that didn't hurt anybody in jail, that kind of thing. But that seems to be changing.
Yeah, it's very strange. And I think that it's even changed, just in the past 5 years that I've been covering this. The reason it's even gotten worse, which is you see it on both sides, like you said. We used to have so much in common with the right. I mean, we think of libertarians as being more aligned with the right on a lot of things, at least in recent years, but also the old ACLU style model of liberals and stuff, of Democrats. So we had common ground with both. And it seems like that is shrinking on both ends as, liberals get more opposed to free speech and civil liberties and all these things that they used to. And meanwhile, conservatives are turning against free markets and all of these things that we used to share with them. So it's a strange time to be a libertarian, huh?